Alright, fellas, let's talk one by one of each cards of Oscillio and how I think about them. This is the list that I've been running now the most, and I actually made changes yesterday for the better, at least for now, like 15, 20 games in. But, yeah, starting with, do we have anything? I don't have a specific order. Let's just do a fucking, yeah, here from now and just shows the cards, whatever. Blast Oblivion. This is a card to play around for the deck. It can be like awkward at times because it doesn't have natural Gilligan, but we are anyways trying to make embodiments and stay on embodiments. I'm trying to use them whenever to combo a bit more. So Blast is very good at generating, very good at playing around the uh, sigils, bouncing them back, like for example conductivity here, and creating those tokens, also using them and boosting really up the numbers for your combo with the brilliance bounce. If you have that in your hand in another instant, you're going infinite. So yeah, Ice Blast to Oblivion. And the next one, we got Comet Storm Shock. Kind of controversial card, right? I was not very huge on it at first, even though from the first moment on I admitted that it was like very flexible, but we were kind of going more in the serious direction where you don't want to pitch anything, and then this just felt bad. But this deck likes to pitch a lot, and I think for Oscillio to have or to get the consistency, you do want to pitch. You do want to you want to keep lightning values around, and you can block more, play more, a 1, 2, 3 card hands. You don't die to just straight up one weakest link thrown at you. It is what it is. And this card, it fills the instance, or I mean, it fills the actions for Arcane. It fills, goes very nice with Eclectic. It is an instant that is cyclable, and it's a 3 block instant. So it's like all three. Also, it has the fucking lightning tag. So there's all three that the deck wants. So it's a no-brainer to free off. For now on in my list until probably the end of times. Wait, this is rare? Do you have cycle on this? We don't have cycle on this, right? Oh yeah. Rare that doesn't cycle. Have enough cycle on this. Huh? That's weird. Eclectic. Liked it at first, then didn't like it. Now I feel like it's one of the best cards in the deck. Definitely a build around card, but this card does numbers. It's off of Tunic into Mind Warp or any etchings, 0 cost like that. It is doing a lot. You are getting like 2 card 8, 2 card 11. If you get the searches off, Mind Warps off, maybe more. 2 card 12. Yeah, whatever the math is, it's good. And it blocks straight. But it can be awkward at times, for sure. Like, yeah, it's a 1 cost, so. But checking up the blue count is like really feeling a lot better for this deck, because then you don't break as much. You never want to pitch really 2 cards in this deck, because it's not really doing anything. You're just wasting a lot of value pitching 2 cards. You pitch 1 blue for a turn, and you go off with that. Yeah, if you pitch. Sometimes you don't pitch anything, and that's fine. Somersault. Yeah, playing more spells, less attacks. It's not that good because you can't utilize as well the bounce mechanic on block where you get to block 5 or 6 with this card, which is really insane. But it does have the huge combo potential with Snatch, Blast to Oblivion, or like any other card with the Greaves. Because these 2 cards are the cards to play around for this deck. This is 100% fact I believe in right now. Lightning Greaves, it's not just gone for flash combo. It's Blast, it's Brilliance, it's Snatch. Just generating. The thing about Lightning Greaves is not how many times you can play gun in a flash. It is actually how many lightning spells can you do in a turn. And gun in the flash is obviously just checking up that number. But just, you know, doing gun in a flash, instant, gun in a flash, instant. I have 4. Then you get like etchings for 7. It's a huge turn. Every time you get to go arcane for 7 or 6, where it's like pumped by 4, it is just insanity. And that is what we are striving to do this with this deck. And I don't think it's done by having always a 5 to 7 cards in your hand where you go 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4. Yes, those are best numbers, but those can be achieved with just high voltage, sigil high voltage, and then you play etchings. That's like 3-card hand. Or you play eclectic etchings. You play these smaller hands that gets the job done as well, and like building towards the bigger hands. Trying to line up and combo a bit with them, right? So yeah, some result is just more copies of gun basically for the deck. It's just very nice on offense too. It's flittering charge. You play flittering charge, somersault, go again, 2-card 8. If you have a spell to end on, then you get the arsenal flittering. Yeah, I did doing numbers. Etchings, second best. I'd say yeah, second best, third best. Yeah, second best spell of the deck of the Mind Warp. But it needs to have these sigils in your graveyard. So, but you're trying to cycle a lot, and I play a lot more sigils here. I tried Forethought, but it's just Forethought is very nice for the deck. It's very nice to get more blues, and it's recyclable, but it's just not a good card. not a good card. But yeah, getting Brilliance is back. Sometimes you get Lightning's back. You have a lot of cool tricks with etchings to get yourself arsenals and stuff. So that's really nice. I would never go on the 3 on this card. Floating Charge is just, I think, the best 0 for 4 for this deck. Nothing much to say about this card, honestly. It just does its job well. Like, if you go to play yellow on some card of these, it's probably the Flaring Charge. I always like it. Fry is just filling the quota here. I don't really enjoy this card because it's a 0 block, but at least you can get it out of your hand if you want to. But why would you want to? Because it's just 0 for 3. Basically 0 for 4 if you can shoot a spell after that. So it's still like above rate. But if you can't use Volzar, it's kind of meh. But it's just very inoffensive card where it's never stuck in your hand, right? But it doesn't block. I don't want to play this really, but right now I'm not seeing better options because I'm going a bit too high on instant, and I don't want to go much higher with Arcane because then I'm starting to throw 2 or 3 per hand, and that gets awkward if I don't get swing at. But yeah, Glyph Overlay, I was off of this card, but this just you just play some turns where you don't attack at all. You just play Glyph Overlay, and it's really good. This just set up your next turn, does huge damage, and gives you life. It's just a massive tempo swing every time you get to trigger the surge. Kind of a flash. Yeah. Billions of combos with this card. And very awesome 1-card, 2-card hands where you sorry. I've been sick lately. My bad. Where you can just add numbers to sigils basically. So sigils by themselves not really worth too much value, but if you have like 2 cards where you go Arcane gun in arsenal, play gun, sigil gun back to your hand into your arsenal. That's fine turn, and now you got better next turn. So yeah, I changed discharge, which so probably that discharge at the same time here too. I was playing wait, how many discharge? All right, I was playing 3 of these and 0 of lightning presses because they don't work with gun and flash, but discharge does. But delivering through on the normal turns and not the combo turn is where I shifted the power to. And these are, I mean, Lightning Press is a lot more nicer with Snatch, with Lightning Form, with Flurry and Charge, Blast, yeah. And I mean, it's an instant for Gun and Flash, so it kind of wastes its effect, but it's still like, you're still doing 2-card tricks on a combo turn. So, it's not the worst. Snatch. I cut E-Strike from this build because prioritizing the lightning tag. I don't know if that is correct, but it's the direction I'm trying. But I think Snatch is better than E-Strike. Because you can combo off of it too. And it's too threatening off a 1-card hand. Or just coming at itself. Because you have Lightning Press and you have Blink. So they can be in a lot of trouble if this hits. But the problem is that if it hits and you get to continue your turn into an Arcane spell, it doesn't pump the Arcane spell. And the thing we want to do with this deck is pump your Arcane spells through Volsar. Because that's even though the Arcane spells are below rate on damage, so to say, but they are guaranteed damage. They are guaranteed damage because people can block up to their AP, right? So yeah, you go. That's why I abuse Volsar. Swell Tidings, for the reasons I talked about Arcane earlier, guaranteed damage. It's very nice turn 1 play with Comet Storm because you get guaranteed chip in. I can pitch a lot of cards. It's very, very nice with Athletic. And this deck uses the Ponder perfectly. Every card goes into Arsenal. There is not a single card in this deck you can not Arsenal. Or if you don't want to Arsenal, you just cycle the Oscillio. You can cycle the Ponder, sorry. But yeah, you Arsenal every card in this deck, pretty much. Now, next card, Lightning Valley. Cheerius cuts this card to 0 because it's just basically cycling itself, still filling the instant quota there, but you get more 0/4, 3/0/4 for attacks, which you'd rather play. But yeah, this deck is more centric on Channel Lightning Valley, which I like a ton, because this card is obviously insane if you get to keep it around. And you get to. With this deck, you get to keep it around. Very nice there. So, yeah, it's an instant. The sad thing about this card is that this does not pair well with Gun and Flash Greaves combo. It basically acts as a blink that doesn't flicker Gun back in your hand, because you have to play it beforehand. Because the thing is, you can't swing with Gun, play this in response when you're not getting blocked, decline Gun trigger, play another instant, and get Gun back, because Gun triggers from the first instant of the turn. Next time you play an instant, this chain link. Yeah. So you have to play this beforehand and kind of tell them, hey, I'm going to Greaves combo now, because you have to pop Greaves pre this if you want the AP. Because you usually want 2 AP for the Greaves turn, or then you are again going to Arthal Gun. So that's not bad either, but getting 5 value out of Gun during the turn, it's what we want to. Yellow etchings gets red etching bangs. Play yellow to fill up more instants to check up the arcane damage. What's his face? Arcane damage ratios. Thank you. Mind Warp. Very cool combo with Bosch in the Cheerius, where you Mind Warp last card in your hand. The opponent draws 2 or more cards from the Mind Warp effect. You pop Balance of Justice and draw yourself an arsenal. But minusing 1 from your opponent when you want to prolong the game and get to play more of your cards and set up sigils. Perfection. It's rather toxic to go Mind Warp for 6. I'm not gonna say that much. Yeah, just get your hand totally shuffled and yeah. I don't know what else to say about this card. It's fucking awesome with Volsar. Sigil of Brilliance, but probably the best card in the deck. Probably. I would say so, yeah. There's a difference. There was a night and day difference in the deck when you drew Brilliance, like first turns rather than later half of the game. and it's still a big difference, but this deck is feeling more nice with not being reliant on Greaves and Sigil. Like I'm winning a lot of games without using Greaves and drawing brilliances really. You just go very consistently Arcane, like attack, instant spell, or instant spell, sigil spell. Yeah, doing a lot of work like that. Blink, another one of the best cards of the deck. Maybe top 3? At least top 5, I think, in the Oscillio whole thing. Because you have the lightning, it's a blue bitch, and it gets an action point. A lot of times it gets cycled or pitched, but that's fine. Sometimes it just links your hand perfectly. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. This is another flexible card as well. You get amp 2 from this. But the nice thing is about this is that if you have more AP than 1, and you have more arcane spells than 1, you can threaten double searches because the amp is on this card, and the Volsar amp is different source. So you can go high voltage, mind warp, or high voltage, etchings, Volsar, mind warp. Very nice. A lot of times it also gets cycled and drawn. I mean pitched, but yeah. It's in this one is in the deck for the sigil name and it being blue. Cyclable blue usually. Sometimes played. And it's alright. I just wish it was fucking lightning. But you can also suit yourself with this for the guaranteed amp 1 if you want to. That's something I do here and there. It's like not the rarest thing, right? But other thing you can do with it is that if you have conductivity out and you need the embodiment of lightning, you shoot yourself with this and you get the embodiment of lightning. You don't get the amp, but you get the embodiment of lightning. Conductivity is... I've just grown a huge respect for this card over the course of the games I've played. I'm starting to be like, I don't know, like 200 games or something with this deck. Or like with this hero. But this is protecting yourself from Arcane. It's 5/5 against Gano, and it's nice against Rune Chance. You get embodiments like every turn, and if you don't get nothing from it, it's free walls are for the whole game. Like if you get turn 0 Sigil of Conductivity, the game is gonna feel so nice. Is you rarely do want to pitch for Walsar unless you are already playing with Eclectic. So yeah, it's a very, very good card on the deck. Sigil of Lightning. I think Conductivity is probably better than Lightning. Because you kind of get the same thing, but Conductivity gives you kind of more. But this you get the embodiment kind of anytime you want to, which is like very nice, of course. And this deck, like, Snatch is one of the best cards in the game you can use off of embodiment. So yeah, just deck wants the embodiments a lot, so you can go like this into Mind Warp or something like that. Reinforce the line is just nice, making your cards block more. It's an instant you can cycle. Pretty cool, yeah. This Blossom against think about what sucks about Blossom. It's just an action. Why is it an action? Because you have to pre-tell them, hey, I'm going to use Greaves, which is like fine in the aggros because they're like, okay, I'm not blocking anyways because my cards suck defensively. But yeah, Northern Hood for the Kana and Verdance. I've not yet to play this into mirror, but I've also yet to lose a mirror, so there's that. Think Cop is better. Sock Charmers, spell by 2. Hey, cool. Sink Below, fixing your hands, blocking well. Card like Reinforce the Line into Victor or decks that disrupt you a lot. Unfortunately, you get still host by CSC, but you are very good deck playing around CNC because you have the ability to arsenal a lot of instants, so you don't care really about CNC. But sometimes when you sit on gun, it hurts. Scour, yeah, this has to be 3 off on every wizard sideboard. Like, yeah, no argument about that to be made. Just have Rune Blades in the meta running around. Like, Viscera is really good. Vincent is really good. People are playing a lot of Florian, although I don't think it's very good. Maybe it's just my matchup into Florian, but which is, I think it's very good for Oscillio. But yeah, I also have Enigma. I think right now Enigma, Dash IO, and Vincent probably top 3 decks in the format, right? I don't know. I'm always a specialist, so yeah. But this destroys Enigma too. It's hitting a lot of top decks. So yeah, Snag. This card into Assassins I struggled a lot in the Assassins. I'm not gonna even lie. I played a game against Uzuri that went Amulet of Echoes. Let me show you the card if you're unfamiliar with the Amulet of Echoes. This one. Destroy Amulet of Echoes on instant. Target hero discards 2 cards. Activate this ability only if they have played 2 or more cards with the same name this turn. Yeah. So that's a matchup. It's an annoying matchup. So Snag is targeting those that I can hand pump new Uzuri, Arcane. And also ninjas. Yeah. That's like it's still hitting a lot of decks, and a lot of decks Oscillio struggles into, so it's really good. But I don't think ninjas and assassins are that relevant. This meta looks like because we have the Enigma running around. So yeah, depends on who comes to check Enigma. If assassins come around to check that deck, and it's like the rock paper scissors holy trinity of the card games, which should exist. Yeah, I tried Crown of Dominion. Another pitch outlet for the gold. I didn't like it. Flash of Brilliance, very nice. Very nice instead of Cop. Can play it. I think Cop is better because it has higher floor and it's not reliant on Sigil of Brilliance, but this one is good too. Stormfighters, I don't really like them in Oscillio that much. I think they're just much worse than Greaves. But some people say they are very nice into aggro. That's probably true. You should play like 2 turns and then again have like that. You're like 1 turn cycle ahead of them. So they can't really tap out or go into on the 5 life or something. Cox, this is a awesome card for Oscillio. But I would be wary right now to play non-lightning cards. If you play too much generics, you're not building walls or you're not doing search amp spells, which makes the deck a lot worse. So this is not as good of a value. But Oscilio is a deck that uses every mode of this card very well. Probably better than any other. Okay, I wouldn't give Kano draw a card when they let this through. That's the thing. You're not giving Kano a card when this hits. But like any other deck, you're probably giving them a card and a quicken token. Also a life because you want 2 life. So anyhow, like presses delivered through, you have blinks and embodiment. Same thing than Snatch, but it just creates more embodiment of lightnings. Actually, I think embodiment of lightnings is better than quicken. Quicken goes. It's not relevant for skill because it goes from the to your next weapon attack too as well. Yeah. Talk about that one. Talk about that one. Not a lightning attack. Nice card though. Being on enough on lightning form. It's certainly a card for this type of a build. But if I draw this with eclectic, if I draw multiple of these, if I draw this during a turn I want to go off with Greaves, I don't like it. But it gets you embodiments and strips cards, so it's very nice for that. It was instead of Snatch here, and then not playing Summer Salts, Snatch not here, because that card really pairs with decent card that only goes in for like 8 cards is not worth the slot really, because Oscillio is kind of tight for the slots anyways. You have like these packages. You want to play in Oscillio. You have the gun in a flash combo, which requires instance, but also that one's instance. So that package is kind of like your core, right? And then you have Blasting Oblivion in that core as well. And you have the Athletic Playlines with Swell Tiding. Swell Tiding probably not gonna cut for the deck if you're not playing Athletic, but I think you should play Athletic if you want to pitch for Oscillio. Kind of same with the Comet Storm. The Comet Storm is kind of like the glue, keeping the deck nicely together. And yeah, there's also the Cliff if you play more sigils. You should play Cliff, which makes the sigils better, and Gun makes sigils better. And then you have like the on-hit package with Lightning Press, Snatch, Lightning Form. You can play around, which is pretty nice. So you have like these webs that are kind of overlapping, but not kinda. Sometimes they are awkward together and they're overflowing around the boundary, so it's like a balancing act. Which one do you want to prioritize more? Maybe that is a also what's it called? Your playstyle. Yeah, your playstyle thing. Wait. Pop the ball into Enigma, right? But to score probably enough. Need to test more though. Definitely need to test more on though. Here's the call of the Grave Bagale Breakland tutor line. So the point of this is it's pretty sweet. You get more blues into your deck, but Call to the Grave is to get brilliance to your grave. So you're gonna start like on one of them. So you're gonna start looping that with etchings. Because etchings on hit is not really real before you have brilliance. Then it's really real. And the back alley break line is to fill when you don't want to tutor in your grave brilliances anymore. So then you just get kind of like action speed blink. Gigantic generating. Yeah, that's just action speed blink basically. That blocks, so that's pretty funny combo. Then we got Destructive Aid, I don't like this one. It's much better than Cheerios, right? But in this deck, yeah, it can fill your blue count, but it's also filling a bit too much on your Arcane count, and it's definitely, I think, worse than these are the spells you could be playing, because it doesn't deal damage really, and people do not have all the time their arsenal. So then you're just shooting blue zap for fuck all. That's why it's sitting here. Current funnel. This is one of my favorite cards, but it's not making the cut because there is no space for sizzles. I'm playing fries now, which do encourage to play current funnel better, but this card you need to line up 3 to 4 cards in your hand to do anything, because you want to first get you need embodiment or a natural Gilligan card, then you need this one, and then you need next card, and after that you want to play something, right? So that's 4 cards, which 3 needs to be, well, 2 needs to be attacks, but quite frankly, if you're playing Arcane Spell with Go again and you're going into Arcane Spell, then you are missing out a lot of value during the turn. So you should go attack, funnel, attack, then Arcane Spell. So something like Fry into Funnel into Snatch Threatening a draw, because it grants Go again to any action. Or then Gone into Sigil into Arcane Spell. But now you are playing around of you having a very Christmas land hand. So consistency issues is why it's sitting on the bench right now. Do we have any cards to talk about? Let me check my other list. I mean, we could talk about Soul Surge. About Cheerios cards. Oh, let's go to Cheerios actually. My decks. Then we got Cheerios. Mark of the Landing. This delivers through the second strike and then CLVs. I haven't updated this deck in a while. I've been playing for like a week. the bigger spell, big spell mid range list. So yeah, lightning surge don't like, because this needs to be an arsenal, but a lot of times you're playing God in your arsenal. I'm probably sitting a bit too much on God in your arsenal. I've been lessening that, which is better, but this card doesn't get the arsenal slot too much. And when you throw it, it's just a blank. It's lightning 0 for 4, so it's like 0 for 5, but then you need setup for it to be 0 for 5. I don't like it. Second Strike is a cool card, but apart from series, don't like that card, because you would need, again, wider hands for this to work, which then begs for you to get disrupted and just lose your games on the spot. The sizzle is cool though. With current funnel, it's really cool. Yeah. All else probably discussed here. Trailblazing either. I tried this, but the go again doesn't really do anything, because the next spell you are playing is probably also Arcane, or then you would have played them before this. So the go again is not really worth much. Pardon. Anything else I should discuss about? It isn't much. Draw 2 could be nice, but again, you're playing spells after the Arcane, which is reducing play around on the Volsar, so it's not a fan of it. Oh, Eternal Inferno. This is like, I've seen a lot of people being hyped about this card. And it's really cool by design, and the art is cool, but I have never been a fan of this in Oscillio. Because first off, you need to search hit. Second off, you need to AP to play it. Third off, you need the pitch to play it. So if you want to use this, you would need Blink, you would need Greaves. And if you're using Greaves combo, now you have to spend a card to pitch for this, which probably has to be a blue. So you're missing like 1 damage off of this. Then it has to hit. The first one probably hits with Greaves. But the second one, yeah, you're only playing this for 2, really. Which is like nice rate off of this card, but if it's like only working on your combo turn, it's just a lot of consistency issues when you can just shoot a mind warp and the opponent loses card instead of like a few lives more. Yay. Then what's a card I should talk about? Oh yeah, Channel Lightning, Channel Thunderstep. I was so hyped to play this card, and not with with Tom, of course, but after they got banned, I tried it. I've tried to give it a couple of times to redeem itself, but it just never does anything. It's average at best. Blocks 3. It's a lightning pitch. So yeah. I don't think you do want to play around Volsar, definitely. I mean, the Greaves gun is given. That is just given right now. You should just concentrate on playing around Volsar. And you get results for it. Sigils are not bad. Thank you for coming to my TED talk.